All right, people, listen up. This is Rick Grimes. I heard a strange sound, and I sent Glenn to investigate, and it turns out it is The Watching Dead, the officially unofficial podcast of AMC's The Walking Dead. These guys know what it's like out there. Lori, back me up.
I don't know. Shane kind of likes those HHWLOD guys.
Lori, I need your support. Look, Carl's watching.
Hey everybody, welcome back to The Watching Dead. This week we're going to be talking about Season 2, Episode 11, entitled Judge, Jury, Executioner. I'm a little sick. I don't know if you can tell by my voice, but hopefully there won't be too much sniffing and coughing and hacking. But Aaron's going to take over the recap this week.
Hold on to your butts, people.
And I hope you liked our new intro.
So we open up with some... Oh, first of all, I'd like to pimp the composer of our fantastic theme music, Jim's Brothers band Mysteriana, that you can find at mysterianamusic.com. We link it every week in the show notes, and it's badass. It gets us pumped.
Yeah, they're actually going to be playing at the Melody Inn.
They've got some gigs here. If you're
soon.
local here in Indy, check out their website, mysterianamusic.com. You can check them out live perform. We will be at one or two of those performances, surely.
Definitely, yeah.
So
if you want to meet us or hear my brother's music,
I think there's a local Matt. There's a local Matt from Indy.
I think so, yeah.
I know there's a Daniel M from Indianapolis. We'll maybe see you guys there. Anyway, starting the recap, we start with a savage beating.
Yeah.
I forget the guy, but the guy in Grantland that's always like just tearing into Walking Dead. I actually think he's almost unfair at this point, but he said that Daryl threw some Saeed into his Sawyer mix this week.
All right, just beating people up
with torture.
Yeah, he wasn't putting bamboo under people's fingernails or anything.
No, but he was
kicking the crap out of the guy.
Saeed was aggressively interrogating some of the others. And
he
I think that's what he's going
interrogated Sawyer.
Sawyer,
sure. Yeah.
So turnabout's fair play. That's the basic dynamic opening for this episode. What do you think?
My big question here is whether or not Randall is lying about his group. I feel like he's not, because he told a pretty nasty truth there. Or I feel like is he lying about himself as a part of this group?
Yes.
Is he just as deranged as these people are? Is he the rapist and the murderer that his group is?
Yeah.
That's my big question here. And I think the answer is yes. Mm-hmm. I don't think Randall's as innocent as he says.
No, and I got that later on. Well, we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Can I talk about something? There's a couple things I noticed here. Number one, I don't think he could walk on that leg.
That's a pretty heinous wound.
Yeah, there's a lot of people calling bullshit on this week, and then when they open it up and you see this, just how nasty it really is.
Yeah, it's black and pus-filled, and it's disgusting. I mean, it looks like a zombie bit him, and it's been festering for days.
He actually does look like he looks very much the worse for wear. Mm-hmm. I also thought that Daryl. Do you think this is a sign that he's kind of come back to the group? Although he does a lot of lip service about the group being broken. When he's beating the kid, he's like, "You shot at my boys." Talking about Rick and Glenn and Herschel. Mm-hmm. So I think he has a little bit more of a brotherhood feel than.
Definitely. I mean, we saw him walk back into that room last episode when they were having the discussion about it, right?
Right.
About what to do with the guy. So he's definitely on board with the group, even though he thinks that they're broken. He realizes the benefit. The other thing I noticed about Daryl in this scene is he throws in a few extra kicks at the end. It's like beats him a couple extra times. And to me, that felt like that was him. Like, this was immediately after he told him about the gang raping the people that they found, the kids.
Yeah, Daryl don't get down with that.
No, and this to me kind of indicated his remaining guilt over not finding Sophia in time.
Plus, I think he just doesn't roll that way.
Certainly he doesn't, yeah. But I don't know why I got that feeling, but it just felt like there was more to it.
Do you think he's also lying about the makeup? Because it seems like some of this was to play on maybe Daryl's sympathies. It's like, we got women and little children just like you. Mm-hmm. Plus, the guy sounds like the thing that took away a little bit of my enjoyment of the scene. Not that I enjoy seeing people getting tortured, but his whole Gomer Pyle You know?
Yeah, he was. I don't
Like
know.
when he get beat, he's like, oh, come on, man. Oh. I mean, he's like, what?
Yeah.
That's not a reaction you get from a Daryl level beating.
Oh, hell no. Ed is the kind of thing you would get from a Daryl level beating. I feel like he could beat a man on the level that Shane can.
Oh, hell yeah.
So
anyway, so he says that other people rape. Oh, do we believe him? Apparently neither one of us do. Cut the credits, come back. We see Rick standing there addressing the group. Saying we got no choice. He's a threat. We got to eliminate it. Dale immediately goes into Dale mode. You can't do this. You don't want to do this. You can't be... and then, Rick points out a lot of things. Hey, we don't got to judge a jury. We got to make do. And Dale comes back, well, if you can't judge him guilty by association, he's just a kid. Think about your son, what message he's giving him. So what do you think about this scene? Just kind of like, this is the episode in a nutshell.
yeah, definitely. And I mean, it sets up the end, of course, where Carl walks in and sees his dad about to kill the guy, and then Rick can't do it. Throughout this whole episode, I feel like Dale has some very, very good points.
Right.
Except, in my opinion, they're trumped by the world they're now living in.
Right.
By what has happened to civilization as they know it. And we'll get into that more when we get to the big scene.
So a lot of people have criticism for Rick and his reactions to this episode. Do you think it was unreasonable to allow Dale one day, until sunset, basically, to influence the group and get a consensus built? Do you think that was weak?
My opinion there was, Rick has decided, the group has talked, they've decided, why not just kill him now? Take a gun in the barn and shoot him.
Right.
If you're going to do it, if you made up your mind, just do it.
Right.
So I think it was a little ridiculous of him to give Dale a day, but Dale did make a compelling point, like you said, he at least got what kind of messages he's sending to Carl, at least give me a chance to convince the others. So I see why he did it, but I just thought, go kill him if you've decided already. Right.
And I kind of agree with you that if as Rick says this whole episode, this is necessary, we've got to do it, then as the leader that you're trying to be, and he makes a big show of like, this is me, I got to do this, I got to be the one to kill him, then you have to carry through this. You should override Dale's concern. This is either democracy or it's a dictatorship.
Sure, yeah. The only other point here is he had not yet got permission from Lori. He hadn't run it by Lori yet. So
she hadn't backed him up yet.
Yeah, he had to wait for that.
That's true. So Dale, first of all, he goes to his oldest ally, Andrea, and says, I need you to guard Randall. And she's like, what? Look, this guy's a threat. And Dale comes back with hey, keeping our humanity is a choice. You used to be a civil liberties lawyer. What's going on here? So she gives him her word. And gives him some danger in the form of a gun pointed at his crotch. Like, she just leaves that gun sitting on the table pointed right at him. Apparently, Shane didn't do a very good job at range safety.
That's what I'm thinking.
But, and also I thought she mentioned that, tell me this isn't all their ammo, signaling that they're kind of starting to run a little low. Mm-hmm. Something that she's concerned with. Something to keep in mind for a later scene. So, Randall spends, understandably, every scene that he's in not getting beat or threatened with execution, trying to get the fuck out of here. Sure. He tries to appeal to, Andrea's sense of humanity. Hey, can I get some water? Mm-hmm. We see Shane puts the kibosh on that. He comes up. He puts a kibosh on that and then says, hey, are you backing Dale? And he's like, I tell you what, these guys are going to pussy out. What do you think about... It's kind of like Dale and him are both campaigning. Yeah, I mean, Shane certainly wants to get the opposite result of Dale here. Right. I didn't feel like Shane was campaigning much this episode. Obviously, there's a relationship between him and Andrea. Right. And I feel like that was just them having an honest conversation about it, Yeah, and he mentions locking people up and taking their guns, Andrea mentions it, and then he doesn't say no. Well, and also, the other thing is that... I thought that she was pretty balanced because he's like, look, who do you think's behind all the problems here? And she's like, well, there's a lot of people say you are. Mm-hmm. So she's not just buying his shit wholesale. That's true. I like that. And I also like the hesitations, like, what are you going to do? Lock him up, put him in? And it's like, look, that's going to get out of hand. And he's like, no, I won't let it. Like, Rick's my friend. I'm not going to let anybody get hurt. But interesting enough, Rick thinks Shane problem is solved.
Sure. Yeah, he thinks he solved it last episode by handing him the gun back.
Yeah, later on, Daryl opines that Rick is not an idiot, and I don't know if I believe that.
Maybe. I just think Rick... Man, it's so hard to see Shane turning on him, but I feel like that's his character, Like, Shane just constantly thinks this is what is good for the group, and it needs to be done regardless of the harm to other people. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. At this point, I'm kind of on Shane's side a little bit.
Right. We also see Shane warn Carl to stay the hell away from the prisoner. This grown-up stuff, let the grown-ups do it. But we see next, the kid in the 10-gallon hat sneaks up into the rafters and starts talking with the prisoner.
Yeah, something creepy about Carl in this scene, right?
Not only that, but this is where I started to really cement the idea that I thought Randall was bad.
Gotcha.
Now,
just the way he's talking to Carl?
Yeah, just like Shane pointed out, there was this is the type of guy that will tell you anything. Yeah. To get you to lower your guard and take advantage of you. And that's what he really seemed to me. He seemed like, more of a predator in this scene. Even though it's understanding why he would want to try to escape.
Oh, certainly. He's going to be killed, yeah.
Right.
The other side of that is Carl, who I feel here is being a very curious, if not a little creepy, 12-year-old kid. There's something going on with the grown-ups, and he wants to see what it is.
Well, and
he's sneaking around. He's looking into things.
I'm going to give him... A lot of people really hated Carl in this episode.
Really?
But honestly, Carl's being a kid. If you're going to hate on anybody, hate on his goddamn parents that aren't paying him a bit of attention.
Sure.
Even though they just lost a child by not keeping her close enough. Yeah. Even though Jim fucking warned them, hey, keep your hands on your kid.
Yeah.
Do not let them out of your sight, out of your grasp.
Yep.
That just happened a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, in the timeline.
And Sophia just died less than a week or about a week ago. Mm-hmm. So I just don't understand. That's the most unrealistic and really the only problem I have in this episode. That Carl keeps getting into trouble and he shouldn't be able to.
You're right. Lori and Rick should be corralling him a little bit more, or at least leaving him with people who can.
Right.
If they won't do it.
But I don't think that's a problem with Carl. He's just a kid. This is what kids do.
This is the really cool thing. I feel like this episode really shows me where they're going with Carl. Carl is a 12-year-old. He's very, very curious, as kids are. He's trying to figure out what's going on in this world. He's the only one I feel who has kind of a blank slate. Like, everybody else has the baggage of 40 years of life.
Right.
Carl has 12 years. What is this new world going to do to this kid who doesn't have the old world morals and ethics to fall back on?
Especially when he's lost his only, similar age playmate.
Yeah.
I mean, that you could kind of see them maybe holding on to their innocence together.
And his parents are too busy dealing with the situation to deal with him.
Right. So, it ends up, Carl gets busted, Shane grabs him and says, would you quit trying to get yourself killed?
Hell of a way to explain to a kid, this is not about getting in trouble. This is about trying to save you. I think he did an awesome job.
I did too.
Teaching Carl there.
Like forget your mom and dad for a moment. We're talking about you not getting killed.
Yeah.
And Carl sticks his tongue out and says, not gonna. I want to go get myself killed.
You think Lori would have given him that speech?
I don't know.
I think Lori would have said, oh, this is not about getting you in trouble. No.
I don't know. She probably sat him down, make him do schoolwork. So next scene, the next stop on the Dale campaign is Daryl's camp that he's made away from the other survivors. He's busy making arrows.
Yeah, cool.
So what do you think about this scene?
This is where Daryl says that the group is broken, right? And he says he doesn't give a shit about what they're going to do with Randall. I don't know what Daryl's future holds with this group. Because like he said, if he thinks the group is broken and he's better off on his own, he moved out to the middle of nowhere in the field to be away from them. How much longer is Daryl going to be with them? Is he even, if they leave this farm, is he even going to go with them or is he going to go off on his own?
Well, the other thing is, a lot of people said, why isn't Daryl the leader? And up until this point, I'm like, because he don't want to be.
Yeah.
We talked about this last cast. But he mentioned one of the many things that comes out in this conversation is he says, look, nobody looks to me. Rick looks to Shane.
Uh-huh.
I almost feel like when he said that is maybe he doesn't want to be the leader, but maybe he wouldn't mind being second in command.
And it's interesting with some of the final scenes we see in this episode.
Right.
Daryl's kind of demeanor when it comes to taking orders from Rick. Rick is like, when he can't kill Randall, he's like, get him out of here. And Daryl springs right up on his feet and is hauling the guy out.
Right.
It's like, I don't know. He kind of is the second-hand man here to Rick.
Well, also they let drop that, and I'm glad they did because I had problems with this. Daryl was on to Shane killing Otis for a very good reason.
Yeah.
He's like, look, he told this stupid story about Otis covered him, went down blazing, but then he came back with the dead guy's gun. That don't add up.
Yeah.
Because, it's like, okay, if he went down covering you...
Did you go back to his body and get his gun?
There should be a gun missing in that scenario.
Yeah. Definitely.
And I thought that was, number one, it showed how smart he was. And number two, that he's pretty discreet because he's not exactly flashing us out. And also, there's a couple meaningful looks, I thought, between Norman Reedus and Shane, or Daryl and Shane, when Shane came back from the Otis scenario. Like, kind of Daryl looked at him like, what's going on here? But he didn't say anything.
It's interesting, kind of, Daryl's way of figuring out that Shane is lying and Dale's way of figuring out that Shane is lying. Because Dale is going all on feeling. Like, I don't like this guy. There's something off about him. I think he murdered Otis. Right. He doesn't ever mention that he shouldn't have brought back the gun, whereas Daryl does. Daryl sees the details. He's not judging people based on like some feeling that he has about him. Right. He's looking at the facts, what's happening, and I like that.
So next scene, I thought that was good because it showed the writers kind of wrote themselves out of a corner because that's a solid. I've been looking like, where is the evidence? Where's the evidence? It makes sense, just like Daryl said. Like, Rick's no dummy; he knows this too. Yeah. So that shows how kind of Rick kind of made that statement.
Definitely.
He didn't want to see it, but when Lori started talking, it was like, well, yeah, I kind of knew this. We go back to the Bar No Death, where nothing good ever happens, and Rick is sizing up to be a gallows, and Lori started talking about how she comes in, it's getting colder.
Where are they going to stay?
Where are they going to stay? Rick starts talking a mess about retrofitting the barn, and then talks about, well, yeah, I'm going to talk to Herschel about moving in the house. Anything to say about that?
Well, now they've got Dale's RV they can move into, right?
Well, hindsight being 2020. They had an interesting conversation because he's like, look, I know you're against the death penalty. She seems like she would be the stereotypical liberal soccer mom, I'm guessing. But now the world's different, and she says, hey, I support you. And she's worried about Shane, but Rick says that he's not going to be a problem.
Yep.
Anything to say about that?
He's got the go-ahead from Lori. Go ahead and kill this guy.
But not full support.
No, because he asks again later on the porch.
And that's what he seems like he really needs from her.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the next scene, Carl becoming the new face of atheism.
Yeah, this is good. Did you want to say? Okay, let's just talk about it.
Yeah.
To me, going back again to 12-year-old in this world, this is showing me how the world is affecting Carl. Carl doesn't believe this anymore.
Right.
Like, everything the grown-ups are telling him turns out not to be true. Mm-hmm. They're wrong a whole lot of the time. Mm-hmm. And Carl's picking up on that. Right. And he doesn't believe in heaven. I don't think he believes in Santa Claus either.
I was going to say,
Carol, you're dumb. There is no Santa Claus.
Yeah, Mom told me there's Santa Claus, no Santa Claus. She told me there's Easter Bunny, no Easter Bunny. She told me there's no zombies. There's zombies.
Yeah, no kidding.
You're all full of shit.
No such thing as monsters, Carl. Don't worry. 2 weeks later, there's one chewing down his door.
Uh-huh. Now, what do you think about Carol's reaction? Honestly, I understand that's a hurtful thing.
Certainly.
But the kid's 12.
He doesn't know what he's saying, really.
And he's even younger in the comics, but he's 12. He's depicted as about 12 years old. How do you get that mad at a goddamn 12-year-old?
I don't know. Because I was rooting Carl on for the sentiment, but not for telling it to Carol in that way.
Right.
I think that was overboard, but she went overboard too, reacting that way to a 12-year-old telling her that.
And I think this is part of her feeling like she's not being respected by the group.
Certainly, yeah.
And that, people treat me funny and they avoid me. I lost my daughter, not my mind. Mm-hmm. I don't know that this strikes me as like when you're watching a Jersey Shore and the Jersey Shore cast are sitting there like, why does this happen to me? Why did my boyfriend break up after I got herpes from a one-night stand in the club? I don't get it. It's like, well, stop acting crazy. Yeah, and people won't treat you crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure where Carol's character is going now.
Yeah. I kind of thought she was getting interesting, and she had that kind of like weird punching bag scene with Daryl a couple episodes back, and I thought, ooh, this is going to interesting places, but it seems like this character is going to take another weird turn because she's like, definitely. I want to be treated the same in the group, and then later on in the debate, she's like, I don't want to make any decisions. Mm-hmm. Why are you guys trying to talk to me? So I don't get down with characters that are wishy-washy.
No, and maybe it did drive her a little crazy. Maybe this is her trying to defend her actions by saying, I lost my daughter, not my mind. Maybe she did. Maybe she's a little crazier than we think.
I do think that Rick dealt with Carl pretty well. He's not...
Yeah.
Because I kind of think Rick leans a little bit towards the whole God doubt deal, especially in this scenario.
Yeah, with conversations with Herschel, we see that, yeah.
So he's not putting the kibosh on Carl. He's just like, look, you can't be that cruel with a grieving woman.
Yeah, he didn't say he's wrong. He just says that wasn't the best way to tell it.
You need to think before you talk, and you need to apologize. And you need to, and Carl starts asking about what he's going to do with the prisoner. Mm-hmm. And Rick's like, you don't need to worry about that. You need to worry about squaring it with Carol.
Yeah.
So, next stop on the campaign trail, we see Herschel is trying to patch up a fence or look after some lost cows, but he quickly realizes Dale's not there to talk cattle.
Yeah.
And he gives the same speech. How's his reception go?
Herschel doesn't give a shit.
No, I thought this is interesting. Herschel totally backed Rick. Look, I'll leave the decision, whatever Rick decides to do.
Yeah, well, he's kind of in the same position Carol is in.
Yeah, but he wasn't giving Dale an inch.
Yeah.
Dale says, what do you think about the boy? He's like, oh, you mean the prisoner? Mm-hmm. I mean, none of Dale's tricks were working on Herschel at all. I was like, I want this guy away from my girls, and I don't care how. I don't want to know how.
Yeah. Yeah. And it seems to me after the scene in the bar, that the whole thing that went down with him, Rick, and Glenn, that he now respects Rick more as a guy who can get things done when they need to be done, I mean, he definitely sees Rick as a leader, and he's deferring to him.
Well, and he thinks, like he said, I've made too many mistakes.
Yeah.
So he talks about the mistakes he's made under no real pressure versus the decisions that Rick and like Glenn have to make during these life and death decisions. I think he has a completely different type of respect for these guys now. Mm-hmm. Anything else in that scene?
No.
Next, we have a scene that I've called Carl's playing in Zombieland.
Yeah.
Again, who's watching this damn child?
No one.
Because he wanders off to Daryl's part of the camp, steals a gun, goes back to the 100-acre woods, and does not find Pooh, nor Tigger, nor Rabbit, nor Eeyore, but he finds a zombie stuck knee-deep into the mud.
Yep. I really like a lot of stuff about this scene, actually. I like Carl's curiosity as this 12-year-old. I think the job they did with the zombie is amazing. As far as
the visual
effects and also the acting of that person. Mm-hmm. Spot on. Like, it couldn't be creepier.
Right.
Even the camera work there with some close-ups and just disturbing.
Yeah, he acted hell, that zombie. I mean, he's been doing a lot of off-Broadway zombie work. He played the zombie King Lear in that production.
Oh, yeah?
Just really, you're watching a master at his craft.
Certainly, yeah.
This is the Patrick Stewart of zombies here.
I think the Marlon Brando of zombies.
I want to say I think this is the best. I think this is the best zombie in show history.
I agree. Yeah, it was certainly the creepiest.
I'm talking physicality, performance, makeup, acting. This is the best zombie of the series. This
I can get behind
shirtless, dumb fuck zombie is the best one.
Definitely.
Pretty intense scene, though. Do we have anything else to talk about on this?
No. I mean, other than the fact that I think Carl's curiosity is going to get him killed at some point
I do
if he doesn't
too.
watch out.
But I also think this is something that a kid's going to do. He's going to initially
Absolutely.
freak out, but then when he realizes there's no real danger, he's going to get ballsy and try to off this zombie. Next scene, we see Dale actually going to Shane to try to convince him to change his mind.
What are you thinking, Dale?
Walk up, I want to change your mind.
And Shane just laughs and is like, all right.
I'd like to preach the good news of the kingdom to you. I just thought, number one, first of all, the other thing, do you got anything else to say about the scene?
Not really. I mean, it's Shane being Shane and Dale being Dale.
I noticed on the second viewing that Shane is actually loading ammunition into his car, into the back of his Hyundai.
Mm-hmm. In the wheel well, or not in the wheel well, but the spare tire area underneath the trunk.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to me that he's packing away ammo, which backs up what Andrea said earlier in the episode. I think we're supposed to draw the conclusion that Shane is keeping a hidden cache of ammo from the group.
And not just that, he might be purposely trying to drain the group of ammo.
Or he's going to just leave and take off with it because he needs it more than anybody else.
Possibly. Try to get Andrea to go with him. I'm going to blame my stumbling mouth on sickness.
Somehow, I think that he's still, I don't know, I think Andrea feels like plan B.
Andrea's plan B? Yeah, Shane is plan A, always with Shane.
No, Lori and Carl are plan A.
Oh, well, that's not even a plan. That's just pie in the sky.
I don't think so.
Thinking.
I think when he's talking about, he's saying locking them into a room for Andrea's benefit, but I really think Shane's planning major mutiny.
Yeah, he definitely could be. Definitely.
So anyway, that's all I got for that scene. We see Herschel up in the room with his daughter. What's her name again? Beth.
Yeah.
He's playing Doodlebug with her. Some grown-ass woman. Has she gone back into a coma? Did she suffer brain damage?
This grown-ass man has no idea what Doodlebug is. Sorry, I don't have a kid, man.
I don't either.
You do.
No, my knowledge of the Doodlebug game rises and sets with this scene.
How do you even know that this is Doodlebug? Does he say it?
Yes, he was doing on her wrist and saying Doodlebug. That was what he was saying.
Okay, I didn't get it.
This woman's like in her mid-20s, is she not?
I thought she was 18.
Oh.
Is my take on it.
Okay, but did she lose some brain function? She experienced some brain death from being low on blood last week?
Leaked out of her wrists.
Yeah, that seemed very weird to me.
I don't know, man.
But basically it sets up one of the great scenes.
Yes.
I gotta say, overall, I really dig the way the writers played things kind of like a light touch this episode.
Definitely.
For example, this scene where Herschel gives Glenn the keys to his daughter's vagina.
His ass wash. Yeah.
He gives her yet another ass wash.
Yep.
We kind of get very in a nice efficient scene the fact that Glenn is Herschel's passing approval to Glenn.
Yeah.
And we also get a lot of nice backstory about Herschel. Stuff we knew already, but instead of him sitting there and talking about, hey, look, this is why I pawned this for a night to drink and I don't even remember. My former wife got it out for me and she's a great woman. Like, you just really get that this means a lot to him.
Yeah, definitely. This was a very touching scene to me.
Yeah.
Especially thinking about how Glenn might have handled this before his recent experiences. Mm-hmm. I think before he's had time to think about his relationship with Maggie and think about his life in this new world after he froze up last episode, or 2 episodes ago, he handles it like a man. I mean, he stops for a second and he's like, what's really going on here? And then Herschel says, you better take this before I change my mind. But he doesn't run out of the room or scream like a girl or anything. He just says thanks.
Right. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think this changes Glenn's mind? Because the last we talked to him, he was not sure whether getting with Maggie is the right thing to do.
Yeah. No, I certainly think it's going to push him more towards Maggie.
Right.
Now he feels not only responsibility to Maggie, but to Herschel as well, to stay with Maggie, you know,
Plus,
protect her.
The whole reason he wanted to break up with Maggie is because he froze that night, and he thought he was a coward. Where that's the whole reason that night is also the reason why Herschel is blessing him. So it's almost like I feel that's a way to say, hey, look, Glenn, you're being a little hard on yourself.
Yeah. You came through this better than most people would.
You came through when it counted, and you had our backs. So, again, I thought this might set Glenn back onto the path with Maggie.
Definitely.
So anyway, we go back to with the scene on the porch where Rick is trying to convince Lori that he's already made the call. I'm ready to do this. It's got to be me. Then after he says all this rough, tough, am I making the right call?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, come on, man.
Asking again. And she's at the point where she doesn't really care, you know? She just wants Rick to be the leader and do his thing. Like she told Andrea last episode.
Well,
just do the thing that you got to do.
But Lori did say, look, yeah, this is the right, you know, I think that was a genuine moment where she kind of like silently nods that, yes, you are doing the right thing.
I think she's also a little disturbed here that Rick is even asking her, though.
I didn't get that yet. I think that's later on, but
I think this is building to it.
Oh, yeah.
Certainly.
It's laying the framework. But I think she wasn't totally on board with the idea, but now I think this is the scene where she's convinced. So it's been a minute that Carl's been down tormenting the zombie.
Yeah.
Several scenes, it's gotten progressively darker, and now he's playing twist and shout with the zombie. Zombie twists out of the mud, and then Carl starts shouting.
Yep.
What do you think about this scene?
Oh, super cool. I like that Carl, thinking there's no danger, goes up, and then as zombies do, he busts out of the mud and starts trying to eat you. Carl doesn't expect that, but he should have. There's something creepy about the way his curiosity leads him into these situations. It could be dangerous.
Right.
And we saw that even back in season 1, where he goes into the woods and the deer's there and he gets shot. I mean, that was Carl's curiosity. Walking up to that deer.
And wanting to go with the big boys.
Yeah.
And the adults not willing to put boundaries on this child. It's going to be interesting to see how that child grows up in this environment.
Definitely.
I think they're really laying some cool groundwork for stuff to happen. The only thing I'm worried about is this kid's going to age in dog years.
That's always a problem with kids.
Yeah.
Happened in Lost.
He's going to be shaving next season. And then...
Yeah.
You think they'll go with the Bobby Draper deal? Where they just keep casting a different kid every time?
I don't know. Is that what they did?
Yeah, there's been like 3 different Bobby Drapers on Mad Men.
But isn't he like super young?
Well, they haven't recast Sally.
You're right, they haven't. She's been on there for 4 years now. I don't know,
She
man.
seems to almost be... I mean, I know, and there's also the time actually elapses in the series.
Yeah, but only 2 weeks if we were to believe
Yes,
Rick.
that's the thing. This is like Lost, where it's like it's not a year. When you come back and watch it next Halloween, a year hasn't passed.
Yeah.
No time has actually passed. So it's like that's...
I don't know why TV shows ever cast kids, honestly. Because if you get a 7-year run, that kid's going to be 22 by the time you're done.
I almost wonder if they're like taking out his blood, passing through a centrifuge, straining out all the human growth hormone, and putting it back. You know, this.
Oh God, they're going to stunt this kid's growth to keep him on the show.
Right, that's
handing him cigarettes and booze.
Half of the show's budget's going to this weird ass occult Nazi technology to keep boys young.
We'll see if it pays off.
Yeah.
Otherwise, international incident, I'm sure.
Anyway, where are we at? Oh. So, speaking of Carl, Mr. Too Big for His Muddy Jeans comes rolling back up to the house just in time for the town meeting about what to do with the Randall, the final disposition of the Randall situation.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about this scene.
Okay, let's.
First of all, Dale says, look, I understand it's a small group. Maybe it's just me and Glenn. Glenn quickly says, hold on a second.
Well, let's talk first real quickly, because it's at the beginning of the scene, about Carl coming into this house. He comes in.
Does he make it in?
Lori tells him, Lori tells him to go upstairs to his room. Mm-hmm. He rolls around the side of the room behind his dad and just stands there. Thinking, okay, if they catch me, Dad's going to back me up and I'll be able to stay in this room. He's playing his parents against each other.
Well, that's what kids do.
Certainly, but I thought it was an awesome thing to see a kid doing that.
Yes, and I also, because I meant to write down, I watched this twice in my notes to see if Carl did stick around the whole thing.
Not the whole thing, no. Rick made him go upstairs.
Okay, because I forgot, I got so absorbed in the scene every time I forgot to make note of it, so I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
So there's a variety of suggestions here. Mm-hmm. People point out, hey, it might be a lean winner. We could use a second set of hands. But, what do we actually, how are we going to do that? You can't
put the risk there.
You can't put a ball and chain. You can't let someone escort. You're going to escort someone one-on-one with this dude.
Yeah.
I thought Dale's plan was like, what say we join him? Or what if he joins us? I think they're, a drive outside of the city and a torture scene too late for that. But why didn't they do that?
Yeah, I don't know why that wasn't Rick's first instinct. I just saved this kid. What is going to make him turn on us?
The only thing I can get is if Rick got the idea that this was a bad seed.
Or that he's going to be so pissed that his friends died. Like, that's the other thing, right?
Well, but on the other hand,
shot my friends.
His friends left him high and dry.
Absolutely they did.
That's the one I don't understand. It's like, okay, it seemed like this kid would be pretty easy to co-opt.
You would think so, yeah. But like Dale with Shane, I get a bad vibe off of this kid.
Well, and Shane says, okay, what if he joins us? Maybe he's helpful, maybe he's nice. Maybe he sneaks out and brings his 30 guys with them automatic weapons and kills us all. Mm-hmm. So the risk of the reward is you might have an extra set of hands to go with an extra set of mouth that you have to feed.
Sure.
Not a set. I don't think he has two mouths.
Kind of a wash.
He has the one mouth. A set of hands, one mouth.
Yeah.
The risk is he comes back and brings death on the entire camp.
Yes.
And worse than death. The men, the men will be killed and then the women raped in that order if they're lucky. So
yeah, which didn't happen the last time that they killed and raped people.
Right.
So I have to say, as much as I agree with what the group decides here, Dale, I admire Dale for his conviction.
Yes.
Like, he makes a very, very good case. They're going to kill this guy for a crime that he may never even commit. Mm-hmm. Okay.
For what he might do.
That's fine and well in 2011 normal society. We're not going to kill this kid today. In the zombie apocalypse, what Dale doesn't understand here is that they are reduced to cave people now. I mean, they are no longer a civilization. They are a nomadic tribe roaming the countryside, trying to preserve their own lives.
So they'll never trust another person again.
They can't afford to. They really can't afford to.
Because that's the thing. What's the difference now between Rick's team and the Marauders? That the fact that they don't rape people when they come across them, they just kill them?
Sure.
They torture, interrogate, and kill them? Mm-hmm.
But it's survival of the fittest. Dale says, makes a joke about it being survival of the fittest, but it is fucking survival of the fittest.
True.
I'm sorry, there are, as far as they know, less than 100 people left on this planet.
But why do you think
they have to preserve themselves?
Why do you think that you'd have it's like the prisoner dilemma. If both people cooperate, you obviously have maximum gain.
Yes.
But the risk of if both don't cooperate, you have like this nominal level. But if one of you cooperates and one of them betrays, then it's maximum
reward for the guy who doesn't
and it's
cooperate.
Maximum risk and punishment for the other guy. So
yeah.
You've got this scenario where everyone's always going to not trust and not cooperate, even though if they did, the results could be spectacular.
Sure.
I don't know. I hear what you're saying.
Well,
but
that is history at its finest, right? The only way that people spread is to increase the size of their tribe and go conquer other places, other peoples. That's just how it goes. I mean, you can't afford to trust people unless you have some piece of leverage, that you could use against them. But they have nothing on this guy. I don't know. That's the way I see it. And Zombie Apocalypse sets everything back.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that they have to learn how to trust somebody some point, because we're losing cast members. We're not getting any more. We're gonna have to introduce new guys into the.
Certainly, yeah. For television's sake, you need to have new people come in every once in a while.
Plus, when did they decide this? Because this band of survivors is a bunch of ragtag groups that joined together outside of Georgia for mutual benefit.
Yeah.
And if Herschel held to this standard, he would have invited everybody in and massacred them.
Well, I think what's happening is you're seeing it sink in. I mean, a character like Rick, the way he's changing, you're seeing the civilization being washed off of him.
Well, even Dale said, look, you said we don't kill the living. And Rick said, well, that's before the living tried to kill us. So that is a watershed moment.
I really think so, yeah. And I think we'll talk about this in Dale's death scene, but I think it's amazing what they did with that character in this world.
So Carol speaks out and basically abdicates her responsibility. So this makes me annoyed with her, because she's just talking about how people don't listen to her and don't talk to her. And now she's like, why are you doing this? I didn't want this.
Yeah, don't count me into the vote.
So Dale loudly proclaims that this new world is a bullshit crap sack world that I don't even want to live in. And I forget who pointed out, maybe Seppenwall did. He goes, characters have a way of pointing that out, don't have a way of dying very soon after.
Yeah, they do.
No exception to this.
I gotta say, at least an Oscar nomination for Jeffrey DeMunn here.
You mean a Golden Globe?
Oh, yes, this is television, okay. Yeah. Fantastic acting from this guy in this episode.
Yes, I don't know that he'll get a nod for it, because there's so much good work being done. But certainly, it's right up there. And he's begging the group at this point, let's just do what's right. I thought it was interesting that Andrea stood up and backed him. Do you think?
Yeah, she did.
Do you think that's because? Why do you think she did that?
I think it's a combination of things. I think one, his point about killing a guy for a crime he may never even commit sunk in a little bit. I think she's a little worried about what Shane is trying to do. And she's like, oh, well, I don't know. Shane, do I agree with Shane on everything here? Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I thought, I don't know, because who can know what's going on in her mind. Sure. But I think that she saw, part of me wants to say that she wanted Randall dead, or she thought that's the way to go.
Yeah.
But she felt so pitiful for Dale and his feelings for the group that she decided to throw her hat on him, knowing that would have zero effect.
Maybe.
So she, is loyal enough to him and cares enough about him that she just wanted him to see him standing alone and feeling like he was the only one with heart. But part of it might be also that, like you said, it's like you were a civil defense lawyer. At least that's what they say. And, I think that speech was so good that he changed her mind. Maybe. I don't know.
Too bad he got killed. He would have had a future in law. Defense.
So, next thing, he walks out and says, you're right. He grabs Daryl and says, you're right. This group is broken. Mm-hmm. Which, weird, because the group seems to be unified except for Dale.
Yeah.
And he says he's not going to be party of it, so he's going to go walk the earth.
Can I say we really should have gotten at least one line from T-Dog in this scene. I mean, the camera sits on him. Yeah. He doesn't even put his 2 cents in.
And he's the one person, even friggin' Carol gets her say in. He's the one person that Dale didn't bother to go and talk to.
And who hasn't had a line in the whole season, practically.
Right.
What the hell?
Right.
I feel bad for you, T-Dog.
I mean, why couldn't he say, T-Dog, you wanted to go back, you wanted to give Merle a second chance. You want to risk your life to save that vile...
Good point.
I don't know, man. It's almost like Irony did something wrong.
And they were punishing him with no lines?
Yes.
Maybe.
He's in this... They're playing the quiet game with him. Whoever stays quiet the longest gets $5. So, next scene, we see this decisive men of action in the group, namely Rick, Shane, and Daryl, escorting the prisoner to the barn of death. And Shane, saying, hey, look, it's going to be over soon, relax. And Rick's, standard kneel. He seems like he's trying to put this off. Standard kneel, response, blubber. So kick him to his knees. Last words, response, blubber. All right, cock the pistol. He waits and waits, and Shane's like, yeah, do it, man, do it. And again, since no one's watching Carl while there's killing being done on the farm, he stumbles on his side and says, do it, Dad. Yep. You pussy.
Yeah, and then, of course, there's no way he can. I mean, he can't murder a dude in front of his child.
No.
And now, if he gets murdered, if Randall gets murdered, what's Carl going to think? Carl's going to think that Rick gave the okay for it. So can they even kill him at all now? Will Rick even let that happen?
Well, let's talk about this, because in the matter of 5 seconds, you got to see a bunch of different reactions. Daryl, reaction.
To what?
To Rick breaking down and saying, take him away.
Oh, Daryl's reaction was like, what the? Oh, okay.
But he did it. He backed Rick.
Yeah. That's what I mean. He's like his right-hand man now.
Shane, reaction.
I didn't see Shane's reaction. Did you get it?
He was super pissed. He slammed the barn door, the death door open.
As I would expect from Shane.
So I said Shane is furious. Carl is what?
Creepy?
Yeah, I mean,
emotionless?
Was he? I couldn't tell if they were being ambiguous about what he was thinking, or whether the kid couldn't really. We had a Jake Lloyd problem where he just wasn't up to the task.
I watched that glance between him and Rick multiple times, expecting to see some indication of what it meant, but I didn't get it.
Mm-hmm. So Rick goes back to the camp where everybody's waiting to see, and he goes up to Lori and goes, "You missing anything?" And he throws Carl at her. Not really, but he should. He informs the group that we're keeping him in custody. And Andrea's excited. She's going to go run off and tell Dale the good news. Lori tells Carl to go inside. And what do you make of this?
Which part of it? Because there's kind of a lot here. I mean, Andrea running off to go tell Daryl.
I don't care about that.
All right. So what do I make of
Lori and Rick?
There's a very weird look on Lori's face when she goes to give Rick a hug or whatever it is.
And she says it's okay. But the look on her face
says that it's not.
Not okay.
No. And to me says she thinks Shane would have handled that better.
I think there's very much doubt about whether she's backed the right man.
I think so, yeah.
She's starting to worry about, this guy, like, look, if this has to be done, it doesn't matter if your kid's watching or not. It has to be done. I mean, get Shane to drag him out of the room, but damn.
Yeah.
So, next thing, we got Dale's going walking. He makes the cardinal mistake of you hear a spooky sound in the dark and you run the hell away. And he gets attacked by the silent zombie.
Yeah, gets his guts ripped
Doesn't
out.
make a noise until he actually got his fingers on you.
Yep. That's how they get you.
Can you really rip a man's guts open like that? Like
let's find out.
If I lift up my shirt right now, you come over here with your bony fingers and see what you can do. I don't feel like you could just open me up like a melon. I don't feel like...
I don't know. I mean, I bite my fingernails, so I don't have any to really rip with.
Yeah.
But maybe if you could get it started with a pointy fingernail.
But isn't that the whole point of cooking meat? It makes it... It softens it up and makes it less tough?
Yeah, certainly. I don't know. I've never ripped a man's guts out. I'm not sure how.
I feel like I want to go to a slaughterhouse and get like a freshly killed cow.
Yeah, no, get a pig. It's a pretty good analog.
Very good human analog. And see if I can just tear its guts and tear its stomach open.
Try it, man. I'm sure they'd let you. They got to tear it open anyway. Yeah, go ahead. Why not?
Yeah, all right, boy.
Herschel would let it. Herschel would let you for sure.
Especially that cow's going to die anyway.
Well, here's the thing.
By a zombie.
Now we're talking about the cow. What do the animals right before horrible things happen to people mean? Carl saw the deer, got shot. Dale sees the cow, gets his guts ripped out by a zombie. What do those animals mean?
Well, on the other hand, Rick's horse got butchered, and he made out okay.
His horse did get ripped to shreds, yeah.
I don't know if you can make the...
Zombies ripped horse guts out.
Yeah, and also the deer, the partially chewed on deer that Daryl shot and the zombie was gnawing on, that didn't really come to anything. This is another one of your coffee theories.
No. This is the same thing that Carl did exactly, right? He walked up to the deer, he stood there, and he looked at it. And that is the exact same thing that Dale does here. And I can't help but feel they're trying to tell me something about these characters or about the world, and I'm just not picking up on it.
So it is a black coffee theory.
I don't know what it means, but it definitely means something.
Like I said,
yes,
it's a coffee
theory.
Thank you.
Listeners, write in and let me know what that means, because I'm at a loss.
So Rick says, look, hold on. Herschel, fix him up. And Herschel goes, did you notice the man's ripped in half?
Yeah. Finally a wound that Herschel can't immediately fix.
His guts are on the ground. There's grass in his guts now. And by the way, this was a zombie. They're freaking out about zombie scratches.
Yeah.
This is the F5 tornado of zombie scratch on the Fujita scale.
The only thing worse would have been if the zombie had stuck his head into the cavity and started chewing.
No.
Like, that's
the only thing worse is if a zombie gets inside your body and wears you like a suit, like that cockroach did in Men in Black.